How you doing? How you doing? And how you doing, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy Petty, and I appreciate you stopping by today. And real quick, before we get into today's video, I think it's hilarious that these maps and leaks can be all over Reddit and get thousands of upvotes there. But if we cover them and show everything in any of our videos, they'll try to copyright strike us. That's real nice. That's real nice. So, we're not going to be showing the actual photo. I'm also not going to be linking to the photo that we're discussing and taking a look at today. I myself, being an amazing artist, have put together something in Photoshop for us to be able to visualize and talk about things a little bit. But if you, on your own free will, want to go to Google and look up the map we're talking about and follow along today, you can, because it's all over Reddit. It can be all over Reddit. I guess Reddit doesn't have a system that'll heavily penalize and... Anyways, before we get into everything also, there is really vague detail on where this is actually coming from, so with any type of potential information that you're hearing from anybody, take it with a grain of salt. And by a grain of salt, like, I mean one of those silos they keep by the freeway somewhere that's just a pyramid full of salt. That's as much salt as you need to bring into this. So in this screenshot that's going around that someone has tried to do some translation from the Chinese stuff where this is all originating, basically says that the map plan was extracted from beta test 1. That's not a lot of information. If that means it's coming, it doesn't mean if it's coming from like the 1.2 testing that might or might not be happening right now. If it came from 1.1, where in the history it came from. Because if it's talking about like the original closed beta test 1, that was a while ago. Like a few months off from being a year ago. So if this is from all the way back then that someone has dug this up, then I wouldn't really hold on to the validity of any of it being very accurate. Because keep in mind, not only is almost a year ago a very long time ago in development, but this game also recouped all of their development cost in the first 2 weeks. So what they were planning to do and what they're now able to do are probably two different worlds. So even if this was a map from a year ago that they initially didn't plan to change or deviate from very much, there's a good chance there's going to be a little bit more put into it now. Maybe not dramatic changings of locations, but probably adding a bunch more stuff. So in the interest of trying to dodge a copyright strike, let's go ahead and take a look at my beautiful, beautiful mastery work. Now, in a couple of things, hold on, where's my star at? Do I have my star on this one? Oh no. Come here, star. Hold on. I need my star so you know where we're talking about. We're just gonna have to do a quick transform. Okay, go ahead and shrink that up a little bit. And then we're just gonna move this up real fast. This is the magic of movie making, kids. Ba-bam! Okay, so let's make that a little bit smaller. Couple of things real fast with my magic star. This is not all solid land. There are a couple of islands over here, and I did not want to trace out all of them. I didn't want to try and recreate the boundaries of the map. Same thing with down here and up here. This is all just generalizations and everything. There's also no actual landmarks or anything like that we've put on here. We've just kind of thrown some names in some places. So if you're doing your homework and you're looking at home, you might get a chuckle or two out of the way that I've named a few things. So right off the bat, in case you're wondering where this beautiful, beautiful house is our home right now. This is the current area that we have access to in Teyvat, which means the rest of this could potentially be planned content. They've talked about unlocking 5 areas, and there being 5 areas for the different elements and everything. We see a few that cross off that checklist, so that seems like it could be very true. But there's also some inconsistencies here and in this map from things that we can kind of see in our world already. So where you see the high boys here is where they're claiming that Celestia is going to be. Celestia, if you don't know anything about the lore, is a floating city castle thing. We'll just leave it at that. Lots of lore in the game. Go look it up. It's all beautiful. But there's a point where you can actually see this. If you teleport to one of the 2 domains at like the north face of Dragonspine Mountain, I guess, and you look up and then to, I guess it would be the west. Yeah. Up north and to the west, you'll see a little cloud structure. And when you follow, running your happy little feet, you can basically get to this point and then it looks like it's out over here somewhere. Oop, let me move the mark. So you basically, can see it from, let's say, Dragonspine is here. Also, Dragonspine's in here, and that's not unlocked yet. So that's, like, somewhere in here. But you go to the top of, like, Dragonspine. You can see up in the northwest skies, there's a floating castle. If you run to the edge of where we have access to, it looks like it's from here up in this northwest area. But the map that we're, getting on Reddit right now puts it more over in this area. So that could just be, minor discrepancy, or it could be that, this map is a year and some change old, and it indeed has changed a whole lot, so you should take very, very, very little from it. But let's talk about some of the other areas and everything. And I've got the one from Reddit pulled up on my computer. There's a bunch of, like, little box details and everything. We're not going to get into all of that stuff, nor are we going to name everything. That's why we've intentionally left things a little bit vague. I will say that there's something that's supposed to be called, like, Black Beach or something down here at the foot of a volcano. I'm super excited to see that. I hope that's a real thing. But again, I'm only letting myself get a little excited for something like that. And one thing that I think is super funny is up in this top corner, there's some place that's earmarked and basically labeled Black or Dark Castle. And I really, really want to know when this is going to come in the story. Because if it's in the next part where it unlocks Dragonspire and then we get some, like, evil force that we become aware of up here that we know that we're fighting that's worse than the Fatui, that's really, the protagonist pushing everything forward, that would be really, really cute and funny. But if we go, like, all over the rest of the world first and then they're like, oh no, I see a bad guy. Where is he? Right over there. And just have him chilling literally above us this entire time. That would be absolute memes. Absolute memes. But let's talk through a couple of things. So I'm guessing that the Hydro people are going to be our waterfall boys over in this area. Looks like there's a great big lake on top of a mountain that has a huge river that then, wraps around. Also connects to the river, it looks like, that comes off of Celestia, so I'm guessing that's some pretty magic water. I'd imagine that's where the magic water people live. Checks out, you know what I mean. Up in the top corner, we've just got the word ice like 6 times, so I'm just assuming that this is where our ice nation is going to be coming from, which, okay. Also apparently have some sandy boys going on. Not exactly sure what's going on with them. I'm not sure what element that area would necessarily represent since we already have Geo covered and Leeway. So I don't know what that is. That might just be someplace that has story significance and isn't necessarily tied up in, like, elemental nations like we've seen so far. We gon' see. But the waterfall boys take up a decent section of here. So down here in this little corner is where we got our fiery boys. Looks like they've got themselves a real nice volcano. And then also something called Free My Star. Unintelligible lava. So something, probably a unique name, lava area. I'm actually kind of interested in some of the geology of Tyvat, and I know that's a really, like, silly thing, but if we've got a volcano here, and then we've got some mountain ranges here, and here. Does that mean we're working off of like continental crust plans and everything like that? It's super interesting, because then we've got some other, like, you know, kind of diagonal looking mountain ranges, and how would those naturally form when there's already like an intersecting path of like volcanoes going this way? All of my geology people are like, yeah, you wouldn't really have something like that, but I know it's a video game, but I'm just like, oh, where'd the rock come from? Weird thing to care about, bro, but okay. Okay. So from our fiery boys down here, and then our waterfall boys, big old mountain lake here, we've then got some jungly boys over here. So this is pretty safe to say this is where our dendro people are going to come into play. I'm also low-key super excited for this. I feel like putting dendro in a jungle just makes all of the sense in the world. I don't know why that's not what we all immediately assumed was going to happen with that. And then we've got our islands down here, which I tried to label in the best way that I could. I apologize for that. But these are just kind of some... They almost read as if, like, okay, so we've got a city somewhere in here, and then we've got things like a temple, a shrine, a lighthouse, a tower. I feel like if anywhere is going to kind of be the capital of everywhere, it's going to be this area here. Just kind of with the way that there's not really any elemental stuff here, it kind of just seems like a focal point with a lot of cultural stuff. So that is where we're getting the guess of like a capital-like city. I don't even know if Teyvat has a capital city, to be completely honest with you. I don't study a lot of lore. Otherwise, I could probably use more of that to say yay or nay on whether or not we trust this map. But, yeah, I think it's interesting. I also think it's super funny that, you know, websites can put this stuff up. Reddit can have these posts all day long and get thousands and thousands of upvotes. But they'll try to use the copyright strike system on YouTube to come after creators. Because they can, because they do have that avenue with that system. There's nothing on Reddit that says, hey, can I bully the person that posted this and try and ruin them in such a way that I can force them to never do this? It's shitty, bro. And we didn't put anything from any content of theirs whatsoever in this video. We made a resource ourselves with some vague stuff to talk about some generalities. There should be nothing in this that, you know, is content claimable, so... We'll see. Not going to post it to the Discord. But I appreciate you guys. We're going to go ahead and cut to the end card, and I'll see you in a second. Alright guys, thank you so very much for stopping by today. I really appreciate your face. I apologize for not getting a video out yesterday with my whole, I'm gonna have 4 days off. I cursed myself, and then basically we got an emergency call yesterday, and I essentially worked just shy of a full day of work. It was great. It was great. So I was a little bit of a dead man after that. I do plan to either try and stream tonight at some point or tomorrow. And also I'm going to try and set up some stuff to try to be able to do some streaming over on Facebook to do some other stuff that I'm working on with some family. So we'll see how all that goes. If you could do your boy a huge favor, check out the new socials, throw him a like, show a little bit of love on the video, be my John Connor, help me defeat the machines. And likes, comments, hitting the bell icon, all that stuff really helps out small channels. So if you guys can help me out, your boy'd really appreciate it. Alright guys, I love you so much. Thank you. And you're gonna have to catch your boy in the next one, because we're out of here. Deuces.